The moment begins with absolute darkness across the entire theater, a silence so thick that the audience almost holds its breath. Slowly, a low rumble vibrates beneath the floor as hidden machinery prepares the performer's ascent. A cold beam of white light slices down from the rafters, illuminating a tall column of swirling smoke at center stage. The silhouette of the performer begins to rise through the mist on a concealed lift, gradually becoming clearer with each inch upward. As his form emerges, the shimmer of a modern white and gold jacket, reminiscent of Freddie Mercury's iconic style but updated with sharper lines and metallic accents, catches the light, making him glow like he's stepping out of a dream. The audience's murmurs swell into excited whispers, and the judges instinctively lean forward, sensing something extraordinary. The performer stands motionless for a moment, letting the anticipation build. His chin lifts slightly, a subtle gesture that mirrors Freddie's unmistakable charisma. The lighting widens, revealing the full stage now washed in gold, the smoke curling around his boots like a living halo. The first soft notes of an orchestral intro hum through the speakers, giving the moment a cinematic weight. Camera flashes ignite throughout the crowd as the performer takes his first confident step forward. Though he hasn't spoken or sung a single word yet, the theater already feels electrified. The entrance doesn't just introduce a contestant, it announces the arrival of a presence powerful enough to summon the spirit of rock royalty. The music swells into a vibrant pulse as the performer steps forward, gripping the familiar half-mic stand that instantly calls Freddie Mercury to mind. The crowd recognizes the gesture and erupts with cheers, but the performer doesn't rush. He holds the mic stand loosely, almost casually, as if it's an extension of his own arm. A wash of deep blue and violet lights floods the stage, creating a dramatic contrast against the metallic shine of the stand. The moment feels intimate yet electric, the type of tension that signals something iconic is about to happen. As the beat drops, he pivots his body with sharp precision, swinging the half-mic stand in a fluid arc that catches the light and throws a streak of brightness across the stage. It's not just a flip, it's a statement. The smoothness of the motion shows he's practiced it countless times, but the natural flair suggests it's as instinctive as breathing. The judges react instantly. Amanda's eyes widen, Alicia leans forward with a grin, Bruno lifts both hands in impressed disbelief, and Simon gives a subtle nod, recognizing the confidence behind the move. The crowd roars louder as the performer plants his feet firmly, the mic stand landing perfectly upright in his grip. He brings the microphone close to his mouth, his expression shifting into one of fierce focus mixed with playful charm. For a moment, the stage feels like an echo of stadium nights gone by, alive, bold, and unapologetically theatrical. The flip seals the impression that this isn't just a tribute, it's a reinvention. The energy on stage suddenly softens as the music fades into a single sustained chord. The performer steps into the center of a narrow spotlight that cuts through the lingering haze, isolating him from everything around him. The audience instinctively quiets, sensing a shift from bold showmanship to raw vocal power. His posture changes, shoulders relaxed, chin lifted, one hand gently gripping the microphone while the other hovers at his side, ready to rise with the emotion of the moment. The stadium-level lighting drops away until only the warm glow of the spotlight touches his face, revealing every delicate detail, the controlled breath, the focused gaze, the subtle tension in his jaw. As he begins the operatic run, his voice fills the theater with a clarity that feels almost surreal. Each note rings out with rich vibrato, echoing the grandeur of Queen's most iconic moments but shaped by his own unique tone. The purity of his high notes sends a shiver across the room, and the audience remains perfectly still, mesmerized. Even the judges fall silent, their expressions softening into awe as they listen to the unexpected depth emerging from the stage. The camera slowly circles him, capturing the way the light glints off the edges of the microphone and highlights the faint swirl of smoke drifting at his feet. The acoustics of the theater seem to expand around him, making a single voice sound like a full choir. When he sustains the final note, it resonates with such precision and emotion that the silence afterward feels sacred. In that moment, it's not just a performance, it's a revelation. The quiet intensity of the previous moment vanishes as the beat kicks back in with explosive energy. The performer strides toward the edge of the stage, confidence radiating from every movement. Colored lights sweep across the audience, revealing a sea of excited faces rising to their feet. With a swift motion, he lifts the microphone toward the crowd, inviting them into the performance. The gesture is unmistakably bold, part Freddie Mercury showmanship, part his own electric charisma, and the audience responds instantly with a wave of cheers and outstretched hands. He leans forward, eyes bright with playful challenge, and shouts a rhythmic cue. The crowd answers, shaky at first, then louder, gaining strength. He grins, repeating the call. This time the response erupts like a stadium chant, filling the entire theater. The sudden surge of unity sends a thrill through the room, pulling everyone into the moment. Even the judges are swept up in it. Alicia stands, clapping, Bruno dances in place, Amanda beams with delight, and Simon, unable to resist the energy, gives a rare approving smile. The performer steps back, raising both arms as if conducting the thousands of voices echoing back at him. Confetti begins to drift down from above in slow, shimmering flakes, catching the light as it falls around him. The stage floods with warm gold and red hues, creating the feeling of a full-scale concert rather than a talent show audition. He feeds off the audience's power, spinning once, then striking a commanding pose that sends the cheers to a new peak. In that charged exchange between performer and crowd, the theater feels alive, transformed into a celebration of music, presence, and pure connection. The performance builds toward its final climax as the music swells, filling the theater with an almost tangible intensity. The performer moves to the center of the stage, framed by sweeping beams of gold and red light. His chest rises with a controlled breath, and the audience senses the moment they've been waiting for. As the instrumental reaches its peak, he lifts the microphone with slow, deliberate confidence. Then, with explosive precision, he unleashes a soaring high note that cuts through the air like a beam of pure sound. The note stretches on with astonishing clarity and power, shaking the room with its resonance. Just as it hits its highest point, confetti cannons erupt along the edges of the stage, releasing a storm of shimmering colors that whirl around him. Crown-shaped light patterns bloom across the massive LED screens behind him, giving the impression that he's standing inside a burst of royal brilliance. The crowd gasps, then roars, many rising to their feet as the visual spectacle explodes around the sustained note. Judges glance at each other in disbelief before all four stand, drawn into the moment by the sheer force of his voice. The camera captures his silhouette against the swirling confetti, backlit so the edges of his jacket glow like molten gold. As he finally releases the note, he lowers the microphone with a soft, victorious smile. The theater erupts into thunderous applause, echoing like a stadium. In those final seconds, it doesn't feel like an audition, it feels like the coronation of a star.